Should you get a new Tesla Model Y or a used Tesla Model X? The answer might surprise you. This is the one you've been waiting for. The Tesla Model Y versus the Tesla Model X. If you are talking about getting a brand new Tesla Model X versus a brand new Tesla Model Y, then it's half the price, right? I mean, if you're in the market for a Model X, you're not even looking at the Model Y. And if you're in the market for only a Model Y, you're not in the market for the Model X, if that makes any sense. Basically, $90,000 for a brand new Model X and $44,000 with the tax credit. You can get one for $37,000, half the price, right? So you're either in a market to spend $45,000 or to spend $90,000. So that's really the difference. But here's the one. If you were thinking about getting a brand new Model Y, the new version, the 2026, with the new exterior, the new interior, versus a used Tesla Model X, you're looking at a 2022 or 2023 version, then the prices are a little closer. You can find one of those with a reasonable amount of miles, like 35,000, 40,000 miles, for around $50,000. So $50,000 versus $44,000. So really that's what it comes down to. You're spending about the same amount of money for a new Tesla Model Y and a used Tesla Model X. And they are very, very different. Even though, you know, they're both in red. And that's a whole nother thing. The ultra red is just, I don't know. It's up to you, but that's probably the best color. But anyway, just looking at it from the front, looking right ahead. Now this is the iconic Tesla look with that logo sitting out in front. And it's just, you know, it's been the look of the Tesla since 2013. I mean, with that new nose, 2015, 2016. But the Tesla Model X had pretty much the same front, minus the grille. It used to have a little like gills on the side. Now it has the updated little air intake valve. So does the Model Y. And this is the brand new. People are saying this is the direction Tesla's going anyway with their exterior, with that light bar. Still has those little air intakes, similar, very similar. The headlights are down here below, but that light bar, right, on the Cybertruck, on the Cybercab, they're saying they're going in that direction. But again, do you want that classic look or do you want that new look? All right, so there is a big T in the front here, and there's no Tesla branding. So either you know or you don't know. That's really subjective, but the new Tesla Model Y does come with a front camera. Now the newly released 2026, 2025 Model X's do have a front camera, but if you're getting a used one for a 2022, 2023, you will not have that option. How beneficial is it? I mean, I have it on a Cybertruck, and it is useful when I'm, you know, pulling forward into some parking spots. And they say they will integrate it into the full self-driving. It's not there yet. But, I mean, it's nice to have, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. But one thing to note is if you do get a 2022 or 2023 Tesla Model X, you're going to have the older hardware 3. And they say you can update it, upgrade it eventually. They're still, you know, never buy a car on what is promised to happen later in the future. Right now, you'll get a hardware 3. With this one, you'll get hardware 4, and everything's more zippy on the screen. The cameras look better. Everything's better on this one. But so regardless of which Tesla you have wireless chargers, and they're all right. Every single Tesla I have, it overheats my phone and I forget to flip it over to cool it off. And sometimes it's a little low to see my notifications, even though I'm driving, I know, but you want to glance down. The best wireless charger you can buy is from MagBack. Trust me, it's beautiful in its design. It goes, look at the back of it. It looks Tesla inspired. It goes right here. And the reason why you want your charger right there is because not only is it great to have your Waze or your other maps that you might use there, but in case you're stopped somewhere, you want to FaceTime somebody, look how quickly and how sturdy it is. And it charges fast. And it does not overheat your phone, which is, to me, probably the best part about it. And of course, you know, having it here looking stealth, looking like it's a part of the Tesla ecosystem. Right there, it's a beautiful setup. They also give you an extension, so you connect it, you fish it around down below, and you plug it in. I love Magback. I love working with Magback. They are one of the best companies, very communicative, and they make awesome products. The link is in the description. Thank you, Magback, for once again sponsoring this video. And you'll see all my Teslas have this Magback charger. Again, there are some other benefits that you might like about the Tesla Model X. Now, looking at the profile, the side. From the side, the Model Y looks like all the other Model Ys that preceded it. It's right here. It has the same shape, right? And this is the all-wheel drive variant. Also, the Tesla Model X comes in all-wheel drive, but also they have a similar shape. Not the same, similar. And if you didn't know, you could confuse the two. You would say, is that a Model Y or a Model X, if you didn't really know. But of course, you know, the handles are different. It's a little higher, a little bit. But of course, you know, the wheels are different, the front's different. But it does have a unique look to it. So again, all subjective. Also, the updated mirrors on the Y, we have this little, I don't know, effect, this little line here to, you know, make it a little different. And if we come look at the rear, I don't know, maybe the new Tesla Model 3s, the next version or the next version of the S and the X might have this rear light bar that some people really, really love. I mean, it looks cool at night with the brake lights on, and it has the Tesla lettering, and it's different. This whole back looks a little different with the license plate at the very bottom near that rear diffuser, but it's a different look, right? Again, all preference. The Model X has that traditional look that you're familiar with the Tesla lettering and this iconic spoiler. That's probably the number one way you can tell a difference. You see that spoiler. Back in the day, the spoiler used to raise and lower, but this one stays put. But that's one main way. And since we're here in the back, let's look at that storage space. Now, when I'm comparing the two, I'm talking about the 5-seater. As far as price is concerned, you can configure the Model X to have a 6-seater or a 7-seater, and they're saying that the Model Y will come in a 7-seater variant. But if history tells you anything, the previous 7-seater Model Y, I mean, I don't know who could fit in the back of that, right? It was limited space in the 7-seater, but they're gonna offer it. But talking about the rear, now, here's the big one. So this is a 6-seater, but if it was a 5-seater, this would be a bench in the middle, and you have this much space in here. Now, this huge rear hatchback comes up, so you can fit a lot of big things in here. Now, if this was a 5-seater, that bench could go down too, and you'll have lots of space to store things. Right, you have this storage here on the side. You have a little cubby here with a net. You have sub-trunk storage here. So there's actually a lot of space in here to store things with a 5-seater. Let's look at this Model Y. Again, the whole rear opens up, and you don't have as much space, but it's not that much less. Now, these are bigger. These little side cubbies are bigger and deeper. You still have that rear sub-trunk. But here's the killer feature that I wish the Model X had. The rear seats are manual, and my wife actually has a hard time reaching it to close them and to bring them back up. Look at this. Now that's a premium feature. That's a premium feature. Now, some vehicles I know, you hit those buttons and they drop. That's cool and all, but what really makes it a premium feature, look at this. They come back up, man. I feel like that is very nice. The Model X does not have that, but they should at least done that on a new version. But they don't have that. That's a really cool feature. And this, of course, is a little shade to, you know, protect people from looking in. But, man, I love that about the Model Y. But there's a little bit more space in the Model X. So that's the rear storage, but what about the front? So the new Model Y, again, it's not powered. Only the Cybertruck has a powered front. But look here, pretty deep, pretty, you know, you can use this space. It's very useful. It's pretty deep. If you go to the grocery store, you can fill this up, no problem. It has a little drain right there. You guys see that drain? So if you use this as a cooler, and it has proper sealing here, you know, you use this as a cooler, then you can drain it through there. Some people like that. And the Model X, it's even wider. You can fit more in here. There's no drain, but it does have that soft felt feel. So you wouldn't want to put water in here anyway. It doesn't have the same kind of seal there. That's there, and it'll keep things cool. And I don't know, again, it's preference, but this is bigger. If you plan on storing drinks in there, then yes, you probably want to go with that one. But look at all this space in this Model X. So why would you even want to get a Model X over a Model Y? This is more premium. So one of the killer features of the Tesla Model X that I love, some people say it's no big deal, other cars have it. I'm just saying, this is the only Tesla where you walk up to it and the door will open for you. How dope is that? You turn down that music. How dope is that? When do I use that? All the time. Because I have my coffee in the morning, right? I have something in my hands. Or if I'm walking with groceries and just a couple bags, I have it in my hand, right? And then you can sit down and step on the brake and the door will close, right? But, you know, some people don't like it. So my wife actually keeps it turned off. And let's say you get out and you're going into the store and you're walking away, and for whatever reason, you don't close the door, it closes for you, right? That's a premium feature. The Model Y has nothing like that. And I don't know, I love it. I don't know why she has it off, because she might as well get a Model Y. She doesn't even use that. But me, nah, I love it. You walk up and it opens for you. And if there's a car or something nearby, then it can detect it, and I haven't seen it hit any cars yet or anything like that. But that's real cool. And of course, like I said, you step in and you can step on the brake and it closes. You don't have to worry about that at all. Also, you have full control of the doors here. So if I just want to open it, or when somebody's coming, you want to open it for them, right? It's all powered. I mean, that's luxurious to me. I'm not saying it's the only car in the market that does that, but it's the only Tesla, and it's definitely premium. You can open the rear doors too. We'll get to those in a minute. And basically, if I had the trunk open, the rear doors open, if I hit close all, everything closes, right? Premium feature. But the Model Y has a traditional door, right? The same door it's had all these years. You just come on, open, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with simple, you know, less moving parts. It has more moving parts. Simple, it works. You will have to explain to people, you know, new people to Tesla, how to open the door. But there you go, right? And same experience on the interior. But since we're on the interior, we might as well talk about the differences in the interior. The updated interior of the Model Y is very nice. A lot of people like it. You know, this door, and this is the black. The white looks a little different. But we have perforated seats now, heated and ventilated seats. The interior may look similar to the Model 3, and it's a little different. The door's a little different. But this whole illuminate, let me show you. As we come in, and of course I have to close it myself. It's a little more contained in here, right? It doesn't feel small, and I'm a big dude. It doesn't feel small, but it feels more contained. I feel like I'm being hugged a little bit more. There's a little more love in here by the car, showing me some love. But it's a little more snug, but it's a nice ride height. It's comfortable in here. And you'll notice we have turn signal stalk right here, right? And I bring that up because the new Tesla Model X's, the newer refreshed, the 2022 and up, doesn't have that anymore. So we have steering wheel controls, and here's where the Model Y wins. We have actual physical buttons that click, right? Buttons that click, you can see it, the whole thing moving right here. And let me show you that camera, that front camera. Boom, front camera right here. If you want to see the rear cameras right there, you swipe up. That's really dope. I mean, it's real cool. But we have the 15.6 inch screen, single screen. You got your wireless chargers right here. 2 cup holders. Very deep cavity right here. And of course, the armrest cavity is not as deep, but it's nice. And it's a simple interior, but it's really nice, right? Let's see how big that glove is. Glove compartment, open the glove box from the screen. And this is what I don't like. No, you don't have to keep a lot of important things in there, like things you access all the time. But what I really don't like is how hard, maybe because my hands are bigger, how hard it is for me to remove my USB when I want to get something off the Sentry Cam. So that's kind of annoying. But overall, the interior, I have lots of headspace. I'm very comfortable in here, but like I said, I feel like, there's some love in here. But let's go check out the interior of the Model X. First thing you notice is we have 2 screens. The Model 3 and Y and Cybertruck only have the 1 screen. We have 2 screens here, and I love that. While you're driving, you have all the pertinent information here. The traffic visualization is here, and you have a huge screen here. It's bigger than in there, which means you have more real estate for different things. So you got a bigger screen. This screen can actually rotate from, it's facing towards me now, to the center, to the right. I keep it facing towards me, but that's a cool feature to have. We have no stalks in here. So you change lanes here, but here's the thing that I like about the Model Y. These aren't actual clickable buttons. They give you a haptic vibration feedback, right? And it feels weird sometimes. To me, I don't like it. It's also here on the door. I want buttons, especially if you have, you only have a screen. You don't have any tactile buttons here. I want an actual physical button. But everything's here on the steering wheel. Also, let's check the glove size here. Also smaller, but it's a little easier for me to grab things out of there, right? But there's no ambient lighting in here. And some people say that's what's needed. And they actually added that on the newest Model X. For me, I like this classic look. And I have a little more space in here. I'm not as confined, right? I have all this armrest room. It's a little more wide open. Look at this huge windshield. You feel like you're really in a spaceship in this one. It's so airy. It's so much room. This is the biggest windshield on any vehicle. It's huge, and it does give it a different experience. You have to get this tinted, right? I recommend you tint all your windshields, but you have to get this one tinted because it's so big. But the experience of driving this it's like nothing else. This is the vehicle that I love to spend most of my time in. And here's what surprised me. This has always been the most smooth vehicle out of all the Teslas. It has that adaptive air suspension. You can control, you can raise it, you can lower it, and it's really good. But we were surprised on how comfortable the ride is in this new Model Y. It's hard to tell the difference, right? You can't raise it, you can't lower it, but the ride quality is so smooth, it's so silky. Like if you didn't know, you couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't really tell the difference. The only thing I will say is, it's one of those things where if they're not neck and neck next to each other, you don't really notice. If you have this, you will have an experience of a smooth ride that you will love. Same with this. But again, there are situations where I do need to raise the ride height of the vehicle, like you go into super steep driveways. I had that happen where I scraped because it was too low. You can raise this to very high and you have a greater clearance. But while driving, it's a totally different experience. Single screen, comfortable ride, steering controls, everything else is pretty much the same, but this is a more premium experience driving the Tesla Model X. And when it comes to full self-driving, they're both very similar. You would think this being hardware 4, but a hardware 3 Tesla Model X. They say the hardware 3 version isn't as good with full self-driving. I have a hardware 4 and it's amazing, so I can't really compare that. But a lot of people say hardware 3 isn't as good, but it's definitely not bad, right? It's not bad. But let's talk about the rear. Again, this is where I sit, right? And you can see how much leg room is there. I like how high these back seats are. So when you come in, you don't have to drop as low. We got the rear screen in here. And I have enough room. Let me show you. I have enough leg room here. I'm pretty comfortable in here. I'm feeling pretty good. Nice height. I don't know the measurement of the screen, but I'm gonna tell you it's about that much. But the screen is functional. It's reachable. You know, no big deal. Got these little pockets right here where you could put things in, right? And again, when I close the door, I'm comfortable enough, right? For a long drive, I think I'd be okay in the back seat, you know, being 6 foot tall. But here's where you get your money in the Model X. The falcon wing doors. Iconic feature of the Tesla Model X. Check this out. Now, some people say it's a gimmick. And yes, we've had problems with the mechanism because, again, more moving parts. But let me tell you why this is amazing. Because they're double hinged where when they open, you can be very close to a vehicle and they'll open up and your kids, the older people, can walk and sit in. And for me, that's worth it. I don't know. I really love that feature. It's probably one of my favorite features of Tesla. But again, this is a 6-seater, so it's kind of hard to compare. But I will say that this screen is bigger. Look at this. Using my hand, this screen is a little bigger. The bezel a little smaller, but I do believe in the 22 and the 23, the screen is smaller. So I think with this 25, the screen's a little bigger. So it might be more comparable to the Model Y size screen. But again, it's big enough where people will enjoy it. There won't be any drama, right? It's a good screen, but we don't have the pockets. There's no pockets here. So you got to hold something if you have it. The cup holder's in the middle over there, and the cup holder here is right down here. You pull that out, and you only have 2 cup holders. If a third person's sitting there, I guess he has to hold his beverage. And I've always been worried about this breaking. It seems more flimsy. I haven't had one break. I had a 2020, it didn't break, but I've always been worried about that. But it's been good. And here's the one thing I will say though, the headspace in here is a little deceptive because you have this little cutout here. So you have this cutout where you have a little more headroom, but just because the sides are a little lower, you feel a little more trapped. You do in the back seat, I'm just saying. And that door is closer here on the back seat than it is in the front. So the front, I have a lot of space. When I'm sitting in the back, I feel a little more confined. But again, if you have adults or bigger kids, it's pretty similar as far as size is concerned in the back seat. But the killer feature again, falcon wing door. Also, there's more speakers in the Model X, but I would say the sound is very similar when you're listening to music. Yes, they both sound rich, robust, wonderful. So I don't think you would dislike listening to music in either one of these. The one thing about the Model Y is even if you get the rear wheel drive version, the less expensive version, then you still get the premium audio with that. They don't do that with the Model 3. With the Model 3, if you get the cheaper version, you get a weaker audio system. So I'm glad they did that. That's what I'm saying. The Model Y is, especially pound for pound, I mean, it's a killer. It's a killer. So, oh man. Hopefully, hey, if again, you know, I'm just being honest with y'all, and I'm very surprised that I love this Model Y as much as I do. So when it comes down to it, which one should you get? Now, everybody has their own needs in their family, their personal needs. If it was me, and I was looking at a used Tesla Model X and a brand new Tesla Model Y, y'all gonna be surprised to hear this. Y'all know that I love the Model X's, but at the same price, with a used version, I think I'm leaning towards the Model Y. I am very impressed with what Tesla did with this Model Y. Very impressed. They stepped the game up big time. A used X with 30, 40,000 miles, a little wear and tear on it, hardware 3, it's hard to compete with a brand new Tesla Model Y that's, you know, thinking for the future a little bit. It's a tough one, but either way, you'll be happy with your Tesla. They're both great vehicles, but once again, hopefully I helped you make things a little more easier for you to decide which one you want to get. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget, Cobra told you. All right, y'all.